Okay, we're now ready for the next one, which is going to be a Wave Race Blue Storm with JimB162. Take it away.
Hello, welcome to Wave Race. My name is JimB and on my side, Araya here. And we play now Wave Race Blue Storm for GameCube in the category the official Nintendo competition. There was some... would like to have the printout here, but it's not online anymore. So there was in the official Nintendo magazine in America a competition for Wave Race that you can start in-game with a password system, and we will do that now. It's basically the expert circuit, the last and hardest circuit here in the game. And to start this, we have to open up the password menu, password, and now I enter the password for this mode. So you could find that in the magazine, and in the end you would get your password as well to send it to Nintendo and be part of a competition. They did that for a few tracks, stunt mode and normal track, the first one. And there are still sometimes online that we found for Japanese competition. That's why we have a lot of Japanese times on the leaderboard for this first track. So I'm starting this. The game says it doesn't save anything anymore after I started this with a password. We will use Rob Hayward because that was the driver that was that they had in the rules that you had to use. It's not forced by the game for some reason. Found that a bit strange. They probably just saw that from the end password if you use the driver, but I'm not sure about this. So we give him full speed and a bit with the controls all to the right. And choose him. He's the second fastest driver, not so good with steering. This competition mode, Wave Race Blue Storm, has a bit of a problem with as a racing game, and you have different weather modes in this game. So 5 weather settings, and the game is very RNG heavy because of that, because in calmer conditions you can drive faster most of the times, depending on how the water level is. If it rains more, then the water level is higher, or the waves just take it away, and you can see more sand on some locations. And yeah, for this competition, they equalized it everything for RNG and just set it to stormy weather all the time, so we won't see much sun in this run. And also for this run, both big Wave Race games have an official drink, and we will just drink this right here. You can see some ads of it in the game, so we will make us ready for the run.
Before we get started, do you have time for a donation to speed you on your way?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, we have a €5 donation from Dr. Fish, who says, "Good luck out there on the waves, Jim."
Thank you, Fish. So let's start. 3, 2, 1, go. Yeah, Fish, one of the fastest Wave Race 64 players that we have in the community, has very good times on the N64 game. This is the game after it. And it has a bit more stuff to it. Like the weather, also turbo. And we just don't hope that we won't get destroyed too much by our competitors. And actually I missed the buoy. I didn't think that I missed the buoy here. That's right. Looking strong. Right on. Good pass. Okay, the AI is also not finding its way out of the corner here. There are quite some AI drivers stuck here. So you get a boost when you drive around the buoys correctly, when the boost meter fills. You're also faster if your boost meter is full, like in Waver 64. If it's completely full, you can also use a boost. That's a new feature in this game. You can't steer much, so it's mostly used on a straight. This would be a good straight, but the waves are a bit heavy. And with the AI, I'm not trusting too much. Oh, we're back in the lead, finally. Every driver has also an announcer. So you always hear different voices if you change a different driver. And going around the buoys correctly here. And I'm also mashing crouch button very often to compensate the waves. Be a bit cleaner on the water. Nakari Oyami is quite in the way from it. Well, we should get those. Since the AI is not skipping as many buoys as we do. So we are allowed to skip 4 buoys. If you skip a 5th one, we would get retired, get 0 points. That's not good for the championship. And we have a new record because the game is in the password mode. Also doesn't save this stuff. And also our announcer with the motivating words. So on goes to Southern Island. Also rains quite heavy in this logging screen, depending on the weather you get. It rains less if you're sunny. Southern Island, very sunny weather in the Waver 64 game. This is a remake of it. It looks the most different here on Expert Circuit because you don't drive around the ship the same way you would do in Waver 64. We just drive along to it. And here are quite high waves. This section is always with high waves, so a bit used to it. I'm just steering a bit too much right now. I'm hoping I'm getting a jump over the ramp because this wave is using some of the momentum, so we dive here. Normally you could also go over it with boost, but since I'm jumping because of the waves before it, didn't do just the boost, so just a dive for that. Also using the boost for shortcuts. So when we skip buoys, we also lose the boost. So we, for boost meter, we don't want that for too long. So we also use boost power here to reload that stuff a bit quicker by then passing after it some buoys the correct way. You can also load up the boost meter with tricks. Either holding it or just doing it one time. Now my number of tricks is low because I'm just trying to get around these waves. And also the water level is higher in stormy weather. That shield was not in a good position here. Well, one guy overtook us. Or it's, well, it's actually Akari. For some reason, she's always fast in Expert Circuit. We don't play it ourselves. She has not the highest top speed. She's better in with stunts. That's where she has more points. The problem with her in stunt mode is just that she's a bit too slow to go over ramps and get a height to get tricks quite easily. But now we're in Aspen Lake. barely recognizable as the remake in this weather of Milky Lake, which was the calm water lake with fog on N64. And here we have normally some more rocks in our way, but because of the higher water level, we can't see much of them, thankfully, and can't drive over them. And I'm doing this corner too much leaning into the right direction. Yeah, Rob Hayward, second fastest driver, also a bit not so good with the steering. So we either prefer David Marina, who's just faster, has even worse steering, or we use Hayami, Yota Hayami, the classics from the N64 game, the characters. And Hayami has just good enough top speed and the best handling combined with that. Okay, my steering's quite off here. Trying to get this shortcut, and we're back in first place. So I also missed 2 buoys with that, but missed a lot of the circuit there. It should be real careful. Whoa! Too deep in the field. To get these buoys correctly. Okay, so this was Aspen Lake. Quite stormy. And we're on to Cityhaba, which is kind of a combination of 2 tracks from Wafer 64, Marine Fortress, and Pearl Harbor. Not Pearl. Port. So at the start you can fill your boost meter by pressing the acceleration at the right time. Just missed it this time more, so trying to get back here. The buoy is just so far out of the way that we skip it. Not worth it to take it. And these ramps more break you out, because you lose speed going up there. Less crouching for these parts. Get the speed. Yeah, quite a lot of action here on the tracks. Falling box from on top. Can't really hit you on your head in most cases because it just falls through. That happens. But yeah, Expert Circuit has the biggest tracks, which makes some of the courses actually a bit easier than in normal and hard mode. Just because you have more space to drive to and less tight corners. But that will change in the coming tracks. But yeah, enough space here. And the water level is also rising or lowering here depending on the weather. If it rains, then it raises. So we have almost hit the ceiling here with the water. And I'm done with this track. I have a solid lead in the championship. even with some bad races. We continue with Cool Ocean in the Japanese version here. Called that way, Arctic Bay in the European and American version. And yeah, the Arctic level also inspired by Wafer 64 track. And you have to go over ice, less steering there. Like jet skis normally don't steer that well on land. We have an ice cave here with penguins, and we try to do the dive to get out of this. There are two ways out of this cave, and I'm not getting the dive because that one doesn't work all the time. Also didn't get a ramp, so bit off here.
Smooth sailing. Right on. Good pass. Got a turbo now, Rob. You got it. There's still time to win this thing, so pour it on. That's the way. Looking smooth.
Then making our way off of the ice. The water not so quite heavy with waves here. Even in stormy weather, it's more of the snow that comes. We take off a normal exit through the ice cave here.
That's the way. Attaboy. Excellent. Smooth sailing. That's the yellow buoys on the left. That's the way. Looking smooth.
And that's more of the normal skip route here for the buoys. Let's hope we see one of our opponents. Doesn't look like it. Well, we're in the distance. Well, the one dive is always annoying on this track. It's just that when you go up the ramp, you can lose some speed because a wave can throw you into it. You go up that fast anymore, and then you can't get the dive any time, and you clip halfway into the wall, but you never go through it or underneath it. So we are now in Aqua Mates, a Venedig kind of level, which is with very tight corners. And some cafes that will be destroyed. My driver wanted to drive left because of the wastes the other drivers make. But here first the cafe. So I lost too much speed to get over it. Cleanly. Yeah. It's your shortcut, and the game always gives you boosts for these jumps, because else you don't make it with your normal speed over it. Can happen that you get stuck there because you don't have enough speed. And then you have to wait a few seconds to get another boost from the game. It's not from the boost meter that I used it. There's too much in the wall.
Looking smooth. Nice.
Crash into Marina, the green guy. The fastest driver on most tracks, also in Wafer 64. So Wafer's veteran crashed him right out of the way.
That's right. Looking strong.
Yeah, AI not going for the shortcut.
Attaboy. Excellent. You got it. That's the way.
It's harder to get these corners than I used to with Yoda. Always a bit off here.
Smooth sailing. Yeah.
And fight with Marina. Still some stairs and tables from the cafe. I have to get out of the way.
Turbo time, buddy. Good pass. Nice. You got it. Yeah. Good pass. Excellent. Looking strong. That's the way. Attaboy. That's right. Smooth sailing.
That's more how I like that corner.
Attaboy. Nice.
Okay, fourth place.
Sweated, buddy. That was some good riding.
So we're already
Guess we
on
need
our way to the last track. So time will come up when we cross the finish line there. Oh. Actually don't have enough points for that. So yeah, I'm actually a bit, okay, that was one bad position too much. So it's actually, you would get the code after the last track. Seems like it threw me a bit too off at to play with Rob here. Normally would more play with Yota Hayami to get all the tracks cleaner. The game goes back here. Couldn't completely finish here for circuit, so don't have right now. Oh, I do have the options right now. So we go on the last track. This mode and well, stormy like this. So this is a kind of Scottish castle that you drive around here. And there are two shortcuts on this track. One is through the castle where the doors are open in the second lap, and also a wall that you can destroy at the end. That we only found out because we had some scans of the official guide. But both shortcuts are actually slower because of the tight corners. So we won't go that way, and in normal time trials you would go with some tricks around it and go just fare faster with some additional boosts. doesn't like getting this, but we're in the last lap here of his track. Going to the start-finish line. One last boost. And yeah, call it time. So yeah, but quite a different ending than what I have expected, but yeah, that was the Nintendo competition mode that you could enter back in a time in 2001 from Nintendo. Don't think they take any passwords anymore, but yeah, we're still waiting for another Wave Race game in the series. I will be back with the Game Boy game in around 3 hours. Here, the first game of the series here, and yeah, have fun with the marathon and live fun. Bye.
Thank you very much indeed for that wonderful one there, JimB162. That was the Wave Race Blue Storm. So we are going to be handing it over to some adverts just now. That's me coming off as well. So thank you very much indeed for your great donations, and enjoy the rest of the marathon.